I would like to thank two ladies. The first one is Deirde, because thanks to her I can skip 3/4 of my speech, because she said already everything that I wanted to say. So at a certain moment in time, I thought she was offering me a marriage. It's called a merger in between associations. And then I said, maybe that's a good idea, until I reflected a little bit more, and I said, but who will be the chairman? And I have no chance, because she is younger than me and she is a woman. So the gender question will absolutely put me out of the job, so I will remain the chairman of European Issues, if you agree. But I will shorten my speech, so you all should thank Deirde, because a lot of things have already been said. And I would also thank Ms. Evans, because she has been extremely positive in her speech about what she thinks has to happen on European level for companies that are thinking to go to the stock exchange, looking for financial means to develop their companies, or are on the stock exchange. I really think that I can shorten the speech of Deirde and myself in 3 words. We are there, both organizations, FESE as well as European Issuers, to defend the companies that are our instruments for the future growth and economical well-behavior. I would like to focus on 2 points only that are maybe my personal feelings about the whole European issues and what we have to do to make Europe move the direction we want to move. Because I'm a strong believer in Europe, and I'm certainly not a believer in Europe going down the drain, what some medias are trying to say. I think it's absolutely the opposite. But let me give you, to illustrate my first thought, a small example. I was invited a couple of months ago, 2 months ago exactly, I think, with some commissioners to talk about the tax transparency issue. The OECD, who had blamed again all the companies to do only bad things, and we should absolutely go to the new rules of life. And the new rules of life were that every multinational company quoted on the stock exchange had to disclose country by country where he was, his P&L, his taxes that he was paying, his everything. And of course I opposed quite dramatically, because as an ex-entrepreneur from a multinational, I saw within 28 countries, I realized totally what it would be to give all of that information to the market. And we finally, very quickly, looked at each other, and I said to them, I couldn't miss it, I said, would we have had, only on European level, one single tax rule? Most companies would really be very pleased by that system, because it would have eliminated a lot of costs that we have today in trying to optimize within all those systems our tax payments, of course. And probably we would have lost a little bit, but I'm sure we would have gained. In the end effect, it would have been a big gain. And at the moment I was saying it, I saw in their eyes what all of you know, it is impossible to reach that. Like one of my friends' lawyers said when I was 30 years old, when I was claiming about tax harmonization in Europe, he said, you will talk about it for the rest of your life, you will never live it, he said. Which is absolutely true. The difficulty to get to such a system makes it, because it touches every country very deep in its heart, makes it almost impossible to reach it. What is the answer then? The answer is, and that is the system I would preconize being the system for the European policymakers, and it's not a recommendation or a request, it's my personal feeling and my gift in terms of thought, and I probably think you know what I will say. You have to define the end goal very clearly, what you want to achieve. In the case of a total tax transparency, one fiscal system for Europe, define how it is looking like, and then define an escalator of events to convince the country by country to go that way, and take years and years and years, but define it, declare it, announce it to everybody, and then people will start to follow that system, and we will finally be there. And the second thing I would like to say to do that, specifically for the small and medium countries looking for money, we should finally agree on one single definition. What is a small and medium enterprise? And it's very difficult. For me, there is one notion. A small enterprise is one that wants to come to the stock exchange, doesn't know how it works, is afraid of it, has to look at all the burden that is coming on it, or is one that is just on the stock exchange, for example, the first 5 years. Define something that is a group of companies that belong to that category of unknown or difficult to get access to the stock market. Unknown with the stock market or difficult, and then put some figures, because you will need some figures, but then go for it and give them a special regime so that they have an easier way to get access to the financial market. And maybe it's the time, maybe all companies that want to go to the stock exchange or that are smaller than that are not there for less than 5 or more than 5 years. And maybe you should put a cap on it of 1 billion in capitalization to eliminate Alibaba from the stock exchange, small enterprises. But then you have a group of people where you can apply that escalation rule that I said in the beginning, a step-by-step approach to a regime that is then the one that is the most effective, or not even the most stringent, but the most effective for the ones that are today on the stock exchange to avoid mistakes. That's are the only 2 points I want to say. And for the rest, thank you, Deir, for the rest of my speech. Thank you very much, all of you.